All right. So, picking up from our Mateia campaign from last time, we're gonna do something a little bit different. We talked about this out of game last time, but we're gonna do a mini campaign arc within the main campaign arc where the secondary characters of the players will eventually meet up with the primary characters of the players, and we'll have a whole bunch of shenanigans happen at that point. So basically, the time frame that these characters are going to be starting is pretty similar in time to their primary characters. This will
What?
be these will be primarily a few weeks before the beginning of the Mateia campaign in its totality. So when we all started at the beginning of session 1, the story right now and the other story of the other two players will start a couple of weeks before that starts. So this is all kind of going to be working while the other stuff has not quite started yet. These characters will start at level 11 so that when they do end up meeting up together, all of the characters are on the same plane of experience as each other. So we're just gonna go ahead and get started. So Nico and Bjork, I think that's how you say your name. Um, you guys find yourself at the behest of the Underground Research Guild that you guys have been working for together for a few months now, called the Arcane Inquisitors. Um, the two of you met quite some time ago, and you've kind of been working together and then kind of separate sometimes, but a lot of your jobs have been in tandem with each other. Whether you're in a larger group or just the two of you, or you always kind of have an ear out to where each other are and what they're doing. But the two of you are part of a underground research guild based in Moreau, the capital city of the Swiftlenese Empire. And that underground research guild is called the Arcane Inquisitors. The primary mission of the Arcane Inquisitors is to research and obtain um, historical arcane knowledge and lore and powers and keep them out of the hands of those who might do something dastardly with them. So you guys have been sent on simple fetch quests before. You've been sent on hunting quests before where a monster has been summoned from the past or from some other dimension using arcane knowledge. But in this particular instance, the two of you have been brought together to go and find a underground temple that you have been given a map to the general region of. And there's been rumors that there's some type of arcane knowledge down there, some very, very important hidden knowledge that's you don't quite know what it's supposed to entail. Your higher ups didn't tell you that much. They just said, hey, we need you to go and find this information. It's in this underground, the supposed underground temple. Here's where we think it is based on the information that we have gathered thus far, and they trust that the two of you will be able to find it, be successful in your mission, and then come back, hopefully in one piece. But the two of you find yourselves in late morning in an open desert-like area not far from a smaller mountain range. You're about 2 hours south of this mountain range, and you can still kind of see it. It's very tall, it's just not a very long mountain range. It's probably only 2 or 3 miles in length. But you're about 2 hours south of that range, and that is where you guys camped for the night, finding mountains to be some of your preferred terrain, and it's got a lot of good hiding spots, a lot of places where you can safely keep yourself protected. That's where you spent your evening. So you guys have traveled a couple of hours south down into this small desert region, and you find that you are getting close to where you believe that you need to go based on the map that you have. I'm going to put you on this new map, and then you guys can go ahead and describe what you look like. Let's start with Nico. What are you looking like, Nico? There we go.
Nico is a little kobold, and he's sort of smallish and shortish and sort of scrabbling around in the sand a little bit. And he's sort of carrying his little rapier and his little wooden shield as he scuttles along. He's quite fast, but his little legs have a little trouble in the sand, I think. Yeah, he's sort of carrying his little backpack. For a little guy, he sure has a lot of gear. He's pretty excited to find some new things. And yeah, likes gathering trinkets. He's got little odds and ends sort of jingling and jangling in his bag.
Bjork, what do you look like? You and your companion.
Yes. Joeth, a little kind of silvery pig friend who very energetic, flies around pretty quickly. So we kind of corralled or told to calm down a little bit. Take a breath. Take a deep breath. No, not that cold of a breath. Stop freezing things. Never mind. Okay, fine. Probably would be a little curious about, like, is Nico a dragon or not, or uncertain, like, often, like, just, oh, like a cat would be. Pet me, don't pet me. I love you, I hate you. What? You're strange. Never mind. Ignore. Scratch. It wasn't me. Kind of Joeth's energy. And Bjork is not super talkative. He's kind of got to use all his calming energy to keep this little Drake friend control a little bit. Before he speaks, tries to be really observant, nothing too rash. Because he's tall and pretty lanky, he's aware that he can be like intimidating or like things or hurt things without meaning to. So he's usually kind of the slower to act. I think doing things carefully and right, even if it means not being the first on the draw. But it's a threat, though. It's like, okay, you're getting 4 arrows in the face, dude. Never mind. And yeah, he's always looking for what in the environment can be balanced. So little magic here, little healing there. And I kind of watch out for Nico. Let Nico take the lead. Nico could use a win. Being the big boss of the mission, just kind of like in the background, like, yeah, that's right. We should go that way. Good idea. Actually, there's a bit of a pit there. Let's go around.
So you guys spend your morning making your way down here, and you do end up in, like I said, this smaller desert-like region. And as you kind of traverse through this smaller deserted region, you come upon this set of ruins. It looks like this may have been a church or a cathedral or some other place of worship, just based on the outside structure. A lot of it has collapsed. You see there's not really a lot of the roof left, but a lot of the walls, the things you can't see past, are still standing pretty strong. There is a small graveyard over here, and there seems to be some small type of house over here to your guys' west, where it looks like a significant portion of it has collapsed just with time. As you made your way here, had you not had this map, you would have very easily gotten lost. So it looks like this structure has been built in the location that it was built for the purpose of not being easily locatable. But somehow your bosses ended up finding this place and sending you here. But yeah, as you look at your map, you do see that this is the general region that you're supposed to go. And they said once you're here, there's probably some way to get underground, but they don't know. It'll have to be something you find when you get there.
Okay.
And that's kind of where you guys are at right now.
Looking for a way down. Got it.
Was like adjusting his big goggles. He finds it kind of uncomfortable to be in the sun for so long, so he's like very excited to get underground again. So I'm going to suggest that perhaps we go right into the ruins first, because Nico doesn't think that a house would have a dungeon or anything underneath it.
Awesome.
Probably right, Nico. Yeah.
Would you like to
Makes sense.
describe your giant goggles, because they are quite funny?
They are pretty cool. So they're basically, because he's a kobold and he doesn't do well in the bright light, so he would have disadvantage on things like attacking. So he's found these goggles that are goggles of shade, and they're much too big, but they've helped a lot as he's made his way around on missions with the guild. So sometimes they do fall down a bit if he gets a bit flustered. But yeah, so he's got these hilariously big goggles that he just sort of is constantly adjusting and pushing up.
Quite oversized for the small-framed Nico.
So adorable.
Alright, feel free to explore the map. Tell me what you guys want to do when you get to places.
Would like to
Oh, do you want to scout on your own, or should we stay as a group?
Ooh, well, always better to be as a team, I think.
Okay, well, you lead the way, and Wes and I will follow along. And cover your 6. Watch your back.
I do not know what a 6 is, but I appreciate the coverage. And I will scuttle up to the front entrance and sort of eye my way around this entryway to see if there's any clues.
Go ahead and you can roll investigation or perception check as you approach the entryway looking for clues.
Oh, do I have? Oh. Okay.
Pretty good perception. With a perception of 23, just looking from the outside in to what you can see in the immediate entryway. You can kind of see through this window over here. You can see that there are definitely some pillars inside, at least through that angle. And through the main door, you can see one of the doors has been, both the doors are pretty destroyed. One of them's on the floor, and one of them is just kind of hanging on its stone hinge, just kind of every now and again, just moving slightly as if a breeze just kind of blows through and just makes it squeak on edge. But as you look through, you can see right the way through to the opposite side of this building where the opposing wall has just been destroyed and has collapsed, whether that's by time or through some other means, some other forces. This wall up here is just gone. There's stone broken all apart on the ground, and you can see there are a couple other pillars in your view, but other than that, you don't really see a whole bunch just from this immediate outside entrance looking in.
This does appear to be a temple.
What or to whom? We'll have Joeth fly up and see high up it goes, what he can spot.
Ooh, good idea.
Alright, you could put him wherever you want him to be. Awesome.
Scouting.
Cool, so roll me a perception check for your dragon, or your drake.
That's
Okay.
pretty crap.
So as he flies up and over and kind of looks around and kind of takes a almost like a figure eight fly through, there's not a whole lot that they report back. There's just some collapsed walls, some destroyed, the temple benches that I forget what they're called. The people sit on when they're singing and praying and stuff. Those
Yes.
things, and then there is. There seems to be doorways and staircases and a couple different altars, but nothing that you wouldn't expect to be in a building such as this.
I'll report that back to Nico and maybe have him like do a loop around back. Ooh, did that move? Oh, I'm having mooch lag, but that's okay.
I go. What do you think? Does it appear to be safe?
So far. Let's find out. Step forward a little bit.
As you step forward to the door, it seems like the stuff that Nico had reported and that your Drake companion Joeth reported as well. Nothing looks amiss from your entry so far.
Well, you're comfortable, Nico? Let's keep going. See what we
Yes.
can do. Do we go sneaky or fast? What do you think, Nico?
Probably like just fast and in and out. Just get in so fast that they can't catch us. If there's anyone here.
Swift like the wind.
Yes.
Are you leaving Joeth outside, or are they staying with you?
I think they'll stay with me. I'm like flying nearby.
Okay. Cool. Remember, you can also ride Joeth now. So
True.
he can be your mount, and you can fly on Joeth if you so choose. But yeah, as you both make your way in, you see that this is a temple. You see that there was some type of rug that has been half destroyed, laying strewn across the floor. A couple of the far walls on the other side have been just collapsed, destroyed. You see there are multiple stained glass windows, still, surprisingly, from what you can see, with the majority of their glass intact. This here isn't actually a staircase, it is just a strange structure on the floor. They kind of built out what looks to be maybe a platform where a statue may have once been held. There doesn't seem to be any remnants of the statue there. It seems like it was starting to be a foundation of a large statue they were going to place there, but they never finished it. So this doesn't actually go downstairs or anything. It's just a square base of what would be the bottom of a statue.
Does it look very old? I'm assuming.
Yeah, it looks pretty old. I mean, it's stone, so it looks just like weathered stone. It doesn't look like it's thousands and thousands and thousands of years old or anything like that. But it looks newer than the rest of the floor. It looks like the base of this statue was a more recent addition than the actual temple itself, which is not shocking. People do updates and renovations to things regularly, so to see something new be built inside of something older isn't amiss.
The go question mark. Were those the stairs you're describing, Alex, that are not stairs? Or
Yeah,
are those stairs
this right here. Yep, this is just the foundation of what would have been a statue. So they're not actually stairs. It's just it looks a little bit different. So since I don't want them to be stairs and I can't change this map, the foundation of the statue works just as well.
So there are no stairs that seem to be going down from here?
Nope, the only stairs that you see are these two sets over here. And these were going up, but whatever they were going up to has collapsed, as there is, so you can see the collapsed stone here and here. It looks like that might have been a second story up there, maybe some type of residence, but it has since fallen to the ground and collapsed. So there are no stairs that lead down.
Can I look closer over here?
Absolutely. You can go ahead and roll investigation if you wish. And what specifically are you looking for?
Probably just checking out what this is and what it entails. Is it just like an altar or?
Yes, that is an altar. It looks like there are a few different offering bowls there. They look like there's nothing in them at this point. The bowls themselves look like they're made of a very nice looking wood, but it of itself is very old and very weathered looking.
You could do a bit of touring upstairs, Nico. Do you want to ride on Joeth, or I could pop up since the stairs don't go anywhere? I mean, I know we're trying to go down, but it seems the only way up is way open is up.
So the only things that were upstairs was this over, I'll make a big square for it so you can see. So this was the upstairs, or there was some upstairs there from those two staircases, but the ends of them have collapsed, and so whatever would have been like a second story up there is destroyed on the floor. So you can fly up, but there's not really like any bedrooms or any rooms up there. But the temple, the parts of the roof that have not collapsed and that has not collapsed, it's a solid 60 feet high. So you can fly around if you want.
Sure. Nico, do you want to go first, or do you want to wait down here?
Nico has a bit of a trick to help him fly, and so he's going to pull out a little broom. He sort of yoinks it out of his backpack, and you notice there was like a stick handle sticking out the whole time, but it just looked like a stick, and it's a broom of flying. So he's going to pull that out, and
nice.
he's going to clamber onto it a bit clumsily. You can tell it's probably not his, but he's acquired it somehow.
Let's go, Nico. Yip yip.
Perfect.
So you hop on Joeth and Nico flies on his broom, and you guys just start scooting, booting, floating around the upper parts of this church. Are you just casually perceiving? Are you looking for anything in particular?
This part to the east was destroyed, like the upper level, but is there a upper level to the west that's not destroyed, or?
No, these are just stairs that basically, so like the main part of this floor is like 6 or 7 steps lower than where you came in. So this is, yeah, it's just like the small steps that kind of go down a little bit and then back up. So the only upstairs that you saw that had stairs leading to it were what was destroyed. But you can fly up there, and you see as you kind of get up there that while most of it has been destroyed, the two this pillar right here itself is still pretty much intact, and the top third of this bottom pillar um, is completely destroyed, which caused the actual room itself to collapse in and get destroyed on the floor. So something caused the bottom pillar, at least the top third of it, to get destroyed, causing the room itself to become unstable and then fall and collapse. However, the stained glass windows that start at the bottom do go all the way up to the top, and there are still some images throughout, like towards the top of the middle and this one, the glass kind of is broken, and just because it's been more exposed to weather and the elements and the destruction of the room that was up there. But the glass, for the most part, is still in decent shape, and you can still make out the images on it, and it's still there. So.
Think we should look closer at the pictures.
I think so.
Shall we each pick a window and sort of look at the pictures? I like to look at pictures.
Let's check out this picture book of a temple.
All right. So go ahead.
Could I roll religion for it if I have like?
Yeah, you can both roll religion on the images on these temple windows. All right, 18, not bad, not bad.
Perception for me or investigation?
So you're looking at the windows too. We'll say you can either do history or religion.
Or history.
All right. So, as you look at them, there are different images. They're kind of they're telling a story, one that you recognize from your study of dragons, Beork and Nico. One that you've seen pictures like these before. You are a dragonkin, so you've seen pictures of dragons, and you know general history of not all dragons, but a lot of them. And you see that on the very top of this stained glass window, the one that has not been destroyed at all, you see at the top of it there is a giant white silver dragon, and beside of that, and sitting or flying beside that dragon, is a 5-headed dragon, black, white, green, blue, and red, flying simultaneously together. It almost looks like they're flying in harmony and they're flying in peace together. And then as you see, as the images kind of go down, kind of like a book, how you would read left to right, at least in Western literature, you kind of your eyes kind of follow left to right, and you see that as the glass kind of gets shattered, some of the story from the top is kind of lost. But as you follow it back down to beneath your first image on this window, you see that there are now more dragons. The two larger dragons that you saw before are not in this image, but there are multiple different types now. There are ones that you recognize. You have your monochromatic dragons, you have your metallic looking dragons, and then as you kind of follow the glass window, the windows around even more to the middle and to the bottom right, you see that they are splintering off into different gem type of dragons, to your pearls, to your amethysts, to your diamonds. And then as you kind of follow it further and get down towards the bottom of these three sets of stained glass, you see that the dragons, which were looking peaceful, even the 5-headed dragon, which you both know to be you both know the original two dragons are that of Bahamut and Tiamat. And as you kind of were studying and looking at these images, the story started with them almost in peace and flying with each other, as they are siblings, competitive, but siblings nonetheless, as you know siblings to be. But as it got further and further down and deeper into the story, you saw each rendition and imagery of the dragons, the looks in their eyes and the looks on their faces got eviler, more full of rage, more wrathful. Even the dragons that are inherently good or more lawful compared to the inherently more evil or more chaotic dragons, or even the more neutral dragons that you know to be, you see that they're getting more full of wrath and rage, and their eyes are just getting full of just hatred. And as you get further and further down these glass windows, you see that the dragons themselves have now become more skeletal and more necrotic and more deathly in their aesthetics. They have these blacks and greens and these deeper, darker colors, and smoke's just kind of permeating off of them. It looks like their flesh is almost just starting to slough off, and their bones are becoming more exposed and more barbed. You see that their breath, as they open their mouths to roar, instead of being like the righteous flames of fires and ices and thunders and even the sleep breaths, you see that the breaths themselves are becoming more more deathly, like the land that they're encasing in their elemental breath is just dying. It's not burning or freezing or being set ablaze with lightning and what have you. It's just becoming famine. It's becoming disease. It's becoming death-filled. And as you start to see that, the story on these windows kind of just ends there.
I'll share as much with Nico.
You both
Feeling
understand a
the
lot of
burning
it.
dog. I will be right back.
Yeah. But yeah, you both understand a lot of it as you both speak Draconic. You both have a very strong inherent knowledge and understanding of dragons and dragonkin. And you even see Beork Joeth as they're kind of flying up with you, just kind of flying and looking at these images as well. You can feel, due to your bond with your Drake, a sense of unease just kind of setting in. It's almost like he's trying to pull away the further and further you get down looking at these windows. Not pull away as in trying to buck you off, but like pull away from the windows themselves and kind of turn the head to almost fly away from this. It's not something that normally happens with Dreth. Normally he's pretty calm. He's a very emotive companion, but normally you can tell what it is that is bothering him or is exciting him or making him feel and act the way that he is, but this is just different. He hasn't felt this kind of, it's almost fear, but not quite. There's something just uneasy about the way that Joeth is acting and reacting to this imagery that you've picked up on.
I maybe have him pause, try and calm down a bit, give him a treat, a little animal handling to see if I can figure out what he's reacting to.
Absolutely, and you can do it at advantage because you have your companionship bond with him.
Oof. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, with a 14, he starts to calm down. He's still uneasy, but he's not trying to pull away as hard. You can tell that he's uncomfortable being in front of these images, but he's not actively trying to like pull anymore. He's just kind of making you aware that he's not happy with what he's seeing. So.
Nico does not like this type of picture story. It's very sad.
Very sad.
Okay. Are there any depictions of this temple?
On these panes of glass, no. Not on these three anyway.
Okay.
You do, however,
That
know there are
is
two
very
more big windows that you did see when you walked in. There was one to the south of where the big statue base was, and one to the north of where the altar was that you guys were at. So.
There's a connection to these. Shall we check on those?
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of-
I'll go south.
I'll go north and try to keep Joeth calm.
Cool. All right, so we'll just keep those same religion history checks from before. Nico, with your religion and looking at this, on this window, there is a picture of this is more of like a landscape, and it looks like the ground leading up to this building that you see off in the far distance, which could be this temple that you're in. It looks very, very elegant and very well built. It looks like it's maybe shining with like silvers and pearls and golds, but all of the land leading to it, it's not desert, it's not barren, it's very forested, it's very fresh, it's very alive. Um, looks This could maybe be the place. It could also be a image of a different temple in a different location, but based on the structure of it, it looks like this might be that same place, and this could have been a picture of what this place was like many moons ago, before something happened to the land and something happened to this building. Um, but it looks very different from what you're standing in right now. It looks very alive. It looks very new.
Sense of how long ago that was?
Um, no, not necessarily. The building in the picture or in the glass window just looks like someone took the best possible angle and the best possible light of this temple. And so all of the, like, you can still see the mountains way off in the background in this glass picture. They're kind of back there. They're not as close. They're not the focus of the picture, but you can see that they're back there. So you know it's the same general
So it
region.
looks similar.
Yeah, but you can't, based on the way that the imagery is set up, it's hard to gauge time that has passed based on a stained glass window compared to your live environment. But looking at it a little bit more, it does look like this is very likely that same place that's in that it's in that window.
I will come over and relay that.
And as you're both basically seeing these windows at the same time, Bjork, as you're flying up and looking at this this other one, you see that they're the two larger dragons, who you know to be Bahamut and Tiamat. Both, it shows them at the top being in their dragon form, and then it kind of shows through a series of smaller images them shrinking down into almost humanoid shapes. They look almost human, if not some other humanoid race, whether it be elf or Eladrin or other like taller, leaner, more humanoid-looking looking creatures. And as they take on these shapes, you see that at that point, the window story kind of splits, and it goes from just being like one. So imagine it as panels, right? So the top couple of panels were them together as the dragons, and then the next set down were panels as them together in their humanoid forms. And then from there, it's almost like the two stories kind of diverge and separate and go to either side of the stained glass window, but they seem to have their own stories at that point. You see that over to the left, Bahamut kind of splits off in his human form and goes and giving things to the people working with different groups of people trying to build them up. You see that there are images of this humanoid figure kind of working the land with people, treating the sick, taking on presents, but then gifting them to others to kind of build up the environment around him. Whereas counter to that, you see in Tiamat's humanoid form, she's much taller in this form compared to Bahamut's humanoid form. She's got this long, thick black hair with these dark purple eyes. And as you kind of look at how this imagery kind of describes her, you see the two main differences in the way that these panes are set up is that Bahamut's side going down is very light. It's very bright in its colorations. It seems very, very light and helpful. Whereas on Tiamat's side, the colors are much more muted and much darker, and there's a lot more like shading being used as far as like trying to put across a different type of message. But you see that she is seemingly plucking different people, and only a handful, but each person that she lays a hand on seems to glow in some type of color. Each one of the colors of her original 5 heads, a blue, a black, a red, a white, and a green. Just a quick color over these 5 different creatures. Some look humanoid, some don't. The kind of imagery and the details of this have kind of faded over time, but you know they're generalized humanoid shapes. And then you see that they kind of splinter off and they start doing deeds that aren't considered good for humanity. They start killing and stealing and all of the things that Tiamat has been come to be known for. These seem to be like her worshippers, maybe, or her select few avatars, maybe. You're not quite sure, but they seem to be going off and doing these evil deeds. One person is going out and poisoning the land and killing folks with different types of mixtures and concoctions. One person seems to be fighting in a war, but leading others into the war. Things like that. Those type of scenes are what kind of make their way towards the bottom of this glass imagery, and then towards the very, very bottom, you see that the 2 humanoid shapes of Tiamat and her brother Bahamut come back together, and they no longer look like they are just rival siblings. Now that looks to be some type of hatred and malice between the 2, at least from Tiamat's side. Whereas from Bahamut's side, it's almost like there is a disappointment and a sadness, but at the same time, a defense to protect himself, and then the image just kind of stops. And that's the last thing on the bottom of this window.
More complex and tragic tale than what I've thought, given what little I know of her, with kind of disdain emphasis. Do you make of it, Nico?
Another story, and I don't like the ending of it.
What do you think it means? Is there like maybe a hidden passageway here if we connect it somehow? Bjork's gonna look for like a mechanism or like something to interact with or pull it.
Yeah, go ahead and roll a investigation check. 14. Okay. Looking around, you don't necessarily see anything on the window itself or in the immediate vicinity of the window. As you kind of look around a little bit and make your way to the altar, the bowls that are on the altar, which look very old, that don't look like they've been disturbed, as you kind of go to just feel around on the altar, you kind of brush up against one of the bowls, and the bowls are almost secured in place. Like, as you brush up against them, they don't move. You apply a little bit more pressure to them, and they are secured into the altar. 2 bowls, one on either side, and then this just golden orb kind of in the middle. It looks like a muted mustard color, as it is covered in lots of dust and dirt and spider webs. But there are 2 bowls which are also very muted and very dusty and dirty, but they are very secured to the altar itself and don't seem to be moving when you touch them. So, yeah, that's pretty much all you find in this general region.
I'll point it out to Nico as well and see what he can make.
Are these the sort of bowls that you might put an offering into?
They do look like offering bowls, yes.
Perhaps we must make an offering in order to access
Oh, that's an idea.
part of the temple. Do have a bit of rations. Could try
Maybe
putting
it's something
food
indicative of
offerings.
each, like something fiery for this. Well, there's only 2 bowls, right?
Ooh.
Yes, there's only 2
Very
bowls, and then that dirty mustardy
One with
looking orb in
food,
the middle.
one with water.
Is the orb attached to anything, or is it just sort of sitting there?
It seems to also be secured to the altar itself.
Okay. do you think? Shall we try putting something into the bowls, or?
Yeah. Maybe water in one, food in the other?
Ooh, that is clever. But which is which?
Hmm. Left for food, maybe?
Okay. So I'll put like a little bit of like my rations into the left bowl.
Into this one?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll pour a bit of water into the right one.
Okay. As you
And then we step back and wait.
as you pour the water into the right bowl and the rations into the left bowl, the nothing happens with the left bowl, but the right bowl kind starts to glow very faintly for just a couple seconds, and then it stops.
Glow?
The right one glowed very faintly for just a split second, and then it stopped.
Oh.
You have to time it at the same time, maybe, Nico?
Perhaps. Or maybe they both want water?
Let's try that. I'll hand you my water.
Okay. As you pour water in the left bowl, you see that the left bowl immediately glows this platinum silver color. The right bowl has no reaction with the water still in there, but the left one glows. It changes its color itself to this platinum silver color of the bowl, and then the water itself starts to shimmer and emit this low silvery hue, and the mustardy colored orb in the middle kind of starts to glow just a little bit.
Wish I had some better spells to try and puzzle this out. Anything nearby, maybe? I'll ask Nico. Any incense or like markings of like residue near the bowls to indicate what might have run them?
You guys can both go ahead and make investigation or religion checks.
Nope.
Let's see here. Investigation. Oh my god.
Looking around the general space where you are right now, kind of looking away from the altar and looking around, you don't see anything. Nothing different from a minute ago. But the left bowl that you poured water in is still glowing, and the orb is got a slight hue glowing beneath it, but the right bowl with the water in doesn't seem to be having any reaction. It didn't glow again after you put water in the left one. There's been no reaction since the initial time on the right bowl. So
Just to cover all the bases, maybe we should put some food in the right one as well. Just to see if it prefers the food.
It's a good idea.
So I'll try that.
what kind of food are you putting in
Scoop out
there?
the water. Just like rations, like probably some like fruit and nuts and some jerky. Whatever's in
Okay.
my rations, I'll put a piece of each.
All right. As you put the fruit and nuts and jerky in there, you see that when the nuts hit, nothing happens. When the fruit hits, all of the liquid inside immediately evaporates, and when you put and it becomes almost like if it was a plum, it had effectively become a prune, just a really dried out prune. And as you put the jerky on there, you see that any liquid that was left in the jerky specifically is now been sucked out. And the bowl kind of glows a little bit, but more of like a deep red, a slight deep red for about 3 seconds, and then stops.
Deep red. So you have platinum glowing here.
It is drinking or absorbing the.
That's true. Oh, he put something dry in the other bowl and wet in the bowl since you're drinking it up. Sand, maybe? Sand and water?
Clever.
You can try.
There is plenty
Gather
of
up
sand
some
around
dust.
here.
Yes, that's a good idea.
Okay, so you put some sand in the bowl. Nothing happens.
Okay. I don't like where this is going, but you know what? Other kinds of offerings are sometimes required, and sometimes it is an offering of blood, and I'm a little nervous about that, but I could prick a finger and sort of put some in there and see, just because.
Art draconic. Maybe I'll look at with be a bit of dragonkin blood, one in each. It's not a bad suggestion, and I'm not thinking of too many other ideas, Nico. Are you comfortable with it?
A little bit. I've been pricked before.
Let's try it.
Okay. I'll take my rapier and sort of like gently run my little finger along it, and then put a couple drops into the right bowl.
Okay.
Try that.
All right.
Does anything happen?
As you drop a few drops of your blood into the right bowl, you see that those 3 drops of blood disappear for a second they're absorbed into the bottom of the bowl, and then the bowl itself seems to fill almost to the brim with blood.
Well,
and then the
I think you found
bowl
what the bowl likes, Nico.
begins to glow this reddish, purplish, blackish, swirling menagerie of color. And then the orb in the middle, you see that the outer mustard shell of it falls away, and now it is glowing this combination silver and red, almost making like this dark magenta kind of color. It almost looks like what would happen if you mixed blood and water, and they start to mix, and then they separate, and then you have almost like a yin and a yang of the red blood coloration with the clear water kind of spinning within this orb. And then the space of what looked to be a statue shifts, moves over to the side, and there does seem to be now a spiral staircase leading below it.
Hey, Nico, we did it. Is the job done? No, probably not.
Blood magic. Why do I feel like this was a bad idea? But at least it seems to have opened the stairway.
You have dark vision, yes?
Yes. Oh, yes.
Okay.
And are you able to
Carefully.
also see in the dark?
Yes. Absolutely. You can go
Perfect.
carefully down.
I think I'm liking a bit.
Alright, let me get you put over to where you need to be here. Oh no. Alright, so let me grab the other 2 of you here, because it only let me grab Nico. So are you guys making your way down the staircase?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is the order in which you are going down the stairs?
I don't mind going first, if that's okay.
You are more the front line. Yes, I will guard our
Yeah.
back.
Okay.
Okay, so
And
you guys...
I'll take my goggles and sort of put them on my little forehead so that I can see. Because I'm much more comfortable now that it's a little more shady.
Okay. As you guys begin to make your way down the spiral staircase, I need both of you to make for me, well, all 3 of you, including your dragon, a DC 14 Constitution saving throw, please.
Oh.
As this putrid, grotesque smell hits your nose and makes its way into your lungs.
Con save, you said?
Yes, for both you and your Drake.
11 for me.
Okay.
I don't know where do I find the stats? Is that in the extras?
It should be under actions. It just says Drake Companion, and you can click on where it says Drake Companion. It will open up the whole little side table for you. It looks like he has. It's just a +2 to con for him.
Hey, he made it.
Cool.
Good job.
So,
I didn't.
you, Bjork, are considered poisoned for 10 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, you start to feel as you're like coughing. You've seen poisons before. You've been hit
Yeah.
with dragon poison before, so you have an idea of the effect. But it's more so that like this wasn't really a trap. It was more so this place has been sealed for enough time that the air has become stagnant and pungent, just generally not good. The other two of you just kind of shake it off with your inherent dragonkin bloodline and resistance to a lot of different elements. You kind of shake it off. It doesn't feel good. It doesn't smell good, but you are immune to the poison from this. So I will tell you mechanically, you can only be poisoned the one time. So after your 10 minutes, you're also immune to it. So, but you are under the poisoned condition for 10 minutes. So you guys make your way down into the temple, and you see ahead of you, um, Nico, kind of stuck against the walls. There are two skeletons who are in these weird crouched positions. They don't seem to be doing anything, but they are just kind of stuck there, sitting against the wall, kind of slumped to themselves. That's what you see when you immediately make it to the bottom of the stairs.
They don't seem immediately threatening.
They just look like skeletons from here.
Okay. In that case, I'll just continue on and sort of, hey, look, skeletons. Just sort of move forward a little bit.
Okay.
They might not be friendly skeletons.
You see two more. So you see a total of 4 skeletons now.
Yeah, there's more skeletons. You see a bunch of... They don't seem to be doing anything. They're sort of lazy skeletons. Do they react to me calling them lazy?
Go ahead and make a perception check. As you are calling these skeletons lazy skeletons, and kind of looking, you do see just for a quick second, it looks like one of their arms just kind of twitches.
Oh, I think you may be right. That one did not seem very happy when I said that.
I will stage whisper to Nico, should I just shoot him with my bow?
Oh, yes, good idea. I will stand in front of you, but sort of, just don't shoot down or you might hit me.
It's okay, you're short. I mean,
Okay, perfect.
yes, it's okay.
You can use you as a rest.
I'm average height, actually.
We're tall dragon. Nico. I'm just gonna shoot a skeleton.
All right, which one are you shooting? I will tell you that will hit. For sure. Yes. So which one are you hitting, and which damage type are you using? Because it's not all those; it's one of those.
Cold.
Okay, so
Great.
it'll be 17 total, and that's the one you're hitting. Okay. So let me see. Oh, it's not a zombie. It dies. Yep. That one dies, and as you shoot, it's at disadvantage because you're poisoned. So see if you.
Oh right.
Actually, let me see.
Oh no.
I mean, unless you roll a natural 1, you're not gonna miss. So, because your plus alone is their AC, and you rolled a natural 1, you go to shoot it, and at just the very last second, you see the skeleton kind of creaks, and it goes between their ribs, and this one is actually still alive. You missed him with a natural. Oh no, come back. All right, well, the skeletons know you're there now, and they all become aware. So we're gonna go into initiative turn order with these skelly boys. Let's see. Poisoned condition is and ability checks. Yep, and initiative is a ability check. So for 10 minutes, you are not having the best time. You're basically coughing and sneezing and wheezing up some not enjoyable funk. I can't believe that I said you need a natural 1 to miss, and you rolled a natural 1. Wow, they also both rolled really bad. And you rolled a 7 for initiative. Alright. I know, I'm gonna move you here for a second so I can add you to the turn order, because your thing's up there. 7. Excellent. Alright, well, Skeleton is gonna go ahead and go first, and he's got enough movement to run up, and he's gonna try and take a couple smacks at you. He's gonna do 2 short bow smackaroonies. 1, 2. 22 and a 6 against
22 hit.
Nico. So you take 4 piercing damage from this skeleton that runs up into your face.
Absolutely. So rude! How dare you!
It is now your turn, Nico.
He's immediately gonna rage.
Rage. And since you're not wearing the glasses, you don't have to roll to keep them on your face because you put them
perfect.
away.
Okay, I'm raging, and then do I turn on Divine Fury as well?
Mm-hmm.
When raging? Yeah, okay.
Yep, because it'll hit whatever your first hit on it is, will do that Divine Fury damage.
Delightful. Okay,
You have 2 attacks.
sorry, I'm
so
checking off. Okay, I'm going to attack with my Crystal Rapier, and
Okay.
I'm going to just a regular.
Okay.
bonk.
14 hits it for 1d6 plus
8,
5.
and then I'm not activating the Radiant, I don't think.
Okay, so you just need the 7 and the 3. You don't want the.
Oh, sorry.
It's the.
This is interesting. Okay, yes, it does take the Radiant.
Is that the one that gives you
Fine.
healing?
Yes. So I'm not going to use the healing though, is what I'm.
Okay,
There
so it takes the radiant damage even though, and you have 3 times a day when you can choose to take the healing. Is that how that goes?
Yeah. So I'm not going to take the healing right now because I don't need it, but I am. It does take Radiant damage 1d8.
All right.
As-
Cool.
Yeah.
So 1d8, and then what's the 1d6 plus 5 from?
Good question. I don't know.
Learn the new stuff.
Sorry, it doesn't
No,
seem
you
to have.
are fine.
The damage is just 1d8 plus 3 and then 1d8 radiant, so I don't think it takes anything else.
And then you
unless. Is that adding my extra.
Oh, that's your brutal critical. Roll extra damage for brutal critical and savage attacker. I think with brutal critical you just get to roll an extra damage die, right? That's how that works.
Let me just check. What's the Divine Fury again? I haven't checked
That's
that.
that's 1d6 plus 5 is the necrotic.
The first creature you hit on each of your turns with a weapon attacks takes 1d6 plus 5
Okay, and the
radiant. That would be that.
and the brutal critical is only when you crit. So that's why. So
Okay.
you turned on the brutal critical and not the
I will
rage.
turn that
Yeah.
off.
So you can turn that off, leave the rage turned on, and then
Okay.
we will just get rid of the extra 1d8. So the 7 is not there. But either way, you did 20 damage, which just obliterates this the skeleton. So that's your first attack.
Kaboom. Bonk. Okay.
Bonk.
And then I have. Oh, I also have movements. Yes.
Yep.
So
You have
I have
all the
lots
movement.
of movements.
And you
I have
have-
all the movements.
and you have
so
one
I'm
more
stunned.
attack. And so your
And
your extra radiant won't apply on your second attack, but you'll still get the +3 from your rage. So
so I will turn off Divine Fury then, right? And then
Yeah.
roll my bonk. Sorry, I'm just getting used to this.
no, you are good.
Bonk. Roll
20.
for bonk.
Oh, that
20
hits for 12 damage. This one is
Yeah.
barely alive, but it's alive.
I will scream in its face, "How dare you attack me and my friend!"
Is that your turn? All right.
Yep.
The skeleton is seeing you, but since they're around this corner, they don't actually see Barak or Barak. How am I saying your name right? Bjork. There we go. I knew I was getting it right earlier, but I got it wrong now. Doesn't see Bjork, so they're just gonna run up on you, Nico, and he's gonna try and flank stab you with 2 short swords. 1, 2. An 11 and a 23 So the 11 will
23
miss you, Nico, but the 23 hits for 6, so you only take 3 piercing damage because you're raging.
Delightful.
Alright.
Power of anger.
Right. Bjork, you are up. You see your little kobold friend fighting some skeletons. You're still poisoned, but, you know, you see him happening. What you want to do?
Let's see here. I think the only real move is just try to shoot some skellies with a bow, even though I'm disadvantaged.
Yep.
So I'm just gonna roll 4 because it's 2 attacks and disadvantage, right?
Yeah, or you can hold control as you click it, and it should roll at disadvantage. So you're the 2 that are the lowest will both hit.
Or
And
19, 20.
are you shooting the 2 that you can see, I assume? Are you shooting the 2 skeletons around Nico?
Correct.
Okay, cool. Yeah, they
One shot to each.
bam bam. They get obliterated. And you still have all your movement and your bonus action to do whatever you want with.
Let's see here.
And remember,
yes, I will move forward and see if I can see any targets.
yeah, you can move right there for sure.
I'm trying to move, not draw. I very much die with both.
Oh, did I hide you in the corner there? 5, 10. So you were gonna go right here, right? Yep. You see 1 skeleton. I assume Joeth is coming with you. I'll pull him down here
Might as well Hunter's Mark this last skeleton.
too. Okay, cool. Alright, so he is Hunter's marked. And I'm gonna put a little red dot on him, and you're concentrating, so a little red dot on you. Cool, and that is your turn, because to do stuff with Joeth takes a bonus action, so he'll just take the dodge action.
Yeah.
It is the skeleton's turn. Doesn't like that you just ran up and hit him with this magic, so he's gonna run up on you. Let me make sure. I don't think poisoned. Nope, it doesn't have any benefit to anybody else, so he's just gonna take 2 swings at you with the short sword. A 22 and a 16. I think the 16 misses you, Bjork. So just the 8 piercing damage as they go to stab in with their short sword. And that is all the Skelly Boy can do. Nico, it is your turn.
Let me just double check. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. I'm going to. You see, Nico is like really angry. His eyes are like really bugged out and wide. And he's going to step forward, so he's like right next to his friend. And then he's going to say, "Together we can take him out." And he's gonna swing at him.
Okay.
Bonk.
19 hits for 6 plus
Also, we have
6
attack
plus 3.
tactics.
Oh, so you have advantage. Cool. Yeah, so you can reroll that with advantage.
I mean,
Yeah, so the first one hits, the second one misses, so that's a total of 15 damage, which will, because you don't get that extra d8, but, because you didn't crit, but you do kill him with 15 damage. And you still get to maintain concentration on your Hunter's Mark, so since he died, the next thing that you see, you can just move your Hunter's Mark to it as your bonus action. You don't have to recast the spell, because that's up for an hour, unless you drop it. So, alright. So you've beaten these skeletons. You can either hang out here and try and wait out your poison, or you can keep venturing deeper. What you thinking?
Deeper, Nico? I think I'm doing okay.
I think yes. I think we should get these skeletons before they come out and get us.
Yes.
Alright.
Okay, I'll follow you.
Cool.
Okay.
Can you move me along with Nico, Alex, when she moves, because I'm having trouble dragging.
Yeah, that's fine. I can do that here. Boop.
I'll just sort of peek around this corner. Can I see anything or?
Yeah, as you peek around, you see just kind of standing there this like dead-looking humanoid, just kind of swaying back and forth.
This is an ugly one. I'll sort of like lean over and whisper back.
Alright. Cool. Well,
Do you want to shoot at him before we run in there, or what do you think?
Shot in the dark, might as well. Is that what you think?
I'll step out of the way and give you a sort of line of sight. You might
Okay.
be able to shoot him.
see.
You're very good at the
Alright.
shooty thing.
Yep. So you can get off one shot before he hops in the initiative order. So I'm just gonna put him in the initiative order now. But and I mean, you might kill him with one shot, but it's at disadvantage. So you know, do it.
Let's roll here because
Yeah.
or D&D Beyond being slow.
Fair.
Everything's being slow. There we go.
Oh no, he disconnected. Bad times. Boo. Internet. I'm gonna toss him in the initiative
We'll
while.
just say that
he's
he
there.
magically bonks him. From
Oh, he's gonna be last anyway. The zombie's gonna be last anyway. I mean, I can roll for him. I just don't want to. I don't like to if I don't have to.
That is fair. We'll give him a second to reconnect.
Absolutely.
We'll say that Nico is sort of standing behind him, sort of like pointing. Like, yeah, get him.
Get him right there. Get him. Get him. Get him.
All the bardic inspiration without the bardic inspiration.
Yes, the reptilian inspiration. I believe in you.
Michael, you're back!
Yes.
Maybe?
Uh-huh.
Yes!
I can't even see myself in the game channel.
Hmm.
Roll 20 is not the make so yes.
We
you
can
just roll for me, Alex?
Yeah, yeah.
Let's do voice.
No, you're good.
Okay.
I didn't want to take that away from you. All right. So at disadvantage, the one shot is Jesus, a natural one. You go to shoot and just boing. The poison's really. It's more so not that like you miss, but you go to shoot and the little torch that's lit behind the zombie kind of catches your eye at the last second, and the arrow just spins right over his shoulder. And so that was effectively your surprise attack until you guys are in initiative now. So since you didn't come out of initiative, you decided to just keep on going. We'll say that, Nico, your rage is still up. So you still have your rage going. And it is your turn since you're up in initiative, since we're using the same numbers. And the zombie rolled a 6. So you know.
Okay. I will immediately rush forward. As soon as I see it misses, I run after the arrow, like, ready to go. And I will immediately try to bonk him as well.
Okay. 14. Oh, it's gonna hit. Plus, that's what? 11, 14.
I forgot to put the other thingy.
That's 20 damage. I don't know why it's rolling that extra D8 instead of your, or is that your
I turned the Divine Fury off.
Well, the Divine Fury needs to stay on. I can just take that away each
But
attack.
I can't do it every turn. Okay, I'll leave it on then.
Yeah,
but
it's
taking
just
it off when it's not the first.
Yeah,
attack.
it's just
I turned off brutal criticals.
Yeah, brutal critical is
so
the
I
one.
just have rage.
Yep, the brutal critical you only need to worry about when you crit, because then we can just do it.
We can figure that part out. Okay. Yeah.
All right. So either way, let's see. So you got 11 plus the 3 from the rage, and then the 8 from the. That's from your stuff, right? You get 8 from your zealous. Your divine fury is it's 1d6 plus 5. So just roll a d6 plus 5, and I'll just replace whatever that 1d8 is, because it's inevitably going to be higher. So 7 instead of 6. So 21.
And then I still got my second attack.
Yes, and he's on death's door. You just like stab right into his gut.
Bonk again.
Okay, so 7 plus just the 3 this time, so 10. So the zombie, as you stab into him, will do. Let's see if I can make a con save. 15.
He's persistent.
Well, it rolled on my D&D Beyond sheet, not in the actual roll 20, but rolled a 19. But I'm gonna see if I'll roll in here now. Now he fails. So the zombie dies Damn. He falls and kind of goes to stand back up for a second, and then just like stays dead.
Okay.
So it's dead now. And I will say, knowing the rest of the map, your rage would fall because there's no way to get to where you want to be in the next 6 seconds. So your rage will fall.
Rage drop.
Hey, my stuff's working. I'm not actually doing anything. I was just trying to make sure it works.
Oh
I
yeah.
just reloaded stuff.
Man, we're rolling a lot of ones for you tonight. You're rolling ones, I'm rolling ones. It's just a one time for you tonight, just ones. Okay. So yeah. We'll say because of do you want to try and wait out the next 10 minutes? Because it's probably been at this point since you got poisoned. Probably like 5
Hang on
because
to
getting
here.
down and creeping. So you probably got like 5 minutes left before your poison is over. So, but you can.
Can I sort of stand over here and just listen in case anything comes along?
Yeah, go ahead and roll perception for me. 18. As you listen, you hear slight groaning off in the distance, but it doesn't seem immediately close. It's kind of echoing through the tunnels.
Okay. Shall we wait a little bit? It seems to be we have a bit of space before the next enemies.
It's only 5 more minutes before my poison is up. Let's press forward. Why not?
Okay.
You can do it, right?
Okay. Of course. And we'll push on.
Push on.
Again,
push
I'll
on.
peek around corners as I go.
Yeah,
I'll
as you
stop
peek around the
here and sort of
corners,
peek.
yeah, you just see that there are multiple turns right now.
Oh, wow,
Those aren't actually doors. I just couldn't get them off the map. But you do start to the groanings get a little bit louder. And
Do I sort of see these feet shuffling?
yeah, you see some feetsies, just kind of dead feetsies, and you hear a and then it goes and this you see
And
another one
wait,
kind
no,
of
wrong one.
walk here and just kind of walk this way.
Okay, well, can I sort of peek around this corner first before I do anything?
Yeah, absolutely. You can put your token out there, a square.
Just kind of. Okay, nothing to the south?
Nope, nothing. But you do see there is another hallway just kind of ended right there, into the right there too. So you can't see in there, but you do see there's another little split in there.
Well, I will relay this to Bjork and say I think there is zombies down at the end, but we could sort of go south and maybe see if there's nothing there. What do you think? Or
That's
you
a good
can
idea.
shoot to the east and maybe get one as it walks by, which
I'll
would
try
also
shooting to
be
the
quite
east.
fun.
See if my bow will work again.
Hmm.
Yes! Ah! Shooting to the
Okay.
east.
Cool.
So I will
you're
step
gonna
back
get
and let
okay.
him shoot to the east.
Awesome.
Oh, there we go.
Cool. So are you just hanging out waiting until you see one walk by to see if you can catch it?
Yeah.
All right. So you see.
Picking him off.
So you see, because I think this is a funny image. You can both kind of see it. Nico, you're kind of crouching down a little bit to see between Bjork's legs. But Bjork, you see this zombie. It looks like, you know when you hit like a graphical glitch where something keeps trying to load and it just like in the 8-bit games where you just hit a wall and you keep bouncing off of it. You see the zombie here just like hitting something and like going backwards and hitting it and going backwards, and then it kind of gets pushed and you see a second zombie just like trying to make its way, and now they're just like bumbling into each other. And
Oh
then,
yes.
and then you see another zombie making their way.
Oh yes. You lined them all up.
Away.
I'm like whispering very excitedly.
Here's the thing. Because I like the cleave rule, which is for melee combatants, if you're within 5 feet, it can go through. If you can do enough damage with an arrow to get through the first one, I'll let it carry through. So,
Hey.
alright,
Okay.
so we'll
Two
say,
zombies, one arrow.
yep, so the first zombie will take, I'm assuming this is cold damage, 13, 19, 21 No, wait, it's just 13. It's just 19. Yeah, I don't know why I'm counting more than one. So, this first one is 19. So the first arrow sinks into this first zombie, who turns, and you hear a bleh, and then the second arrow hits it for 14. So let me see if it can make its con save first, because if it fails to save, the arrow's going through it. It fails. So this one falls to the ground, just plop. And then this one, the arrow just sinks into the side of the zombie's head. And just now you see this big dead zombie turn to you, and it's got an arrow just sticking out the side of its head like the old dummy hats that you could get. And it starts just shambling this way, and this one's gonna follow suit. So let's roll initiative again on some zombies, some fun little zombie guys.
Oh, I'm not as fast. I was so excited I forgot that we're supposed to be fighting them and not just shooting at them.
I mean, it's funny though, right? So, all right. So you're still poisoned. So we'll give you your 11 here. That's still compared to zombies, 11's still fast. So you're up first. So.
Shoot again!
Oh yeah, I forgot you were at
Think so.
disadvantage, but because
Yeah.
they were surprised, the other ones were straight. So since you're technically still poisoned, these are at disadvantage, but your other ones, they didn't see you. So disadvantage shots. 18, yeah, that's gonna hit it. For 19 damage, so which damage are you using? Let me ask you that. Is it always gonna be cold?
I think so. I think unless I, yeah, I'll just. take
Okay,
cold
always
now.
cold unless you say otherwise. Sounds good to me. So that's 14. All right, cool. So it's gotta make a save of 19 to not die. It fails, and 3 of that damage carries through because your shots are just so powerful to the second zombie, and you have one more shot. So
Same
Delightful.
thing. Can I still see that like a little bit on the corner, yeah.
yeah, you can see him. He's a big floppy meat sack.
That's literally
15.
Cool. Thank you, mate.
15 does hit for 15 damage. He does not fall this time. He's not looking good about it, but he's up. Nico, did you want to move anywhere, Bjork, or just stay right there?
I will bonus action tell Joeth to protect Nico.
Okay, cool. Sounds good. All right, so Nico, it is your turn. You can sneak under his
Nice.
legs and scramble if you
Can
want.
I would like to scramble under his legs, and
Go for it.
I will help you!
Okay, so that's 10 feet of movement. Yep.
40, right?
Yeah.
And then, if I pop a rage, I can bonus action half my speed, right?
You can, or you can hold your action until he comes close to you and attack him, if you don't want to burn a rage.
Ooh.
Because you
Okay,
still get
I
both
will-
swings if you do that, because you're holding your full
Ooh.
attack.
Yes, I will do that. I will hold action.
All right. He is dumb
Come
zombie.
at me, bro.
He will. As he has an arrow stuck in the side of his head, he's shambling and he's just bouncing off of rocks because the arrow's just sticking. His like every time he walks, his head kind of his head at the time he gets to you is backwards. So since you are holding it to get into melee range, go ahead and take your 2 swings on zombie.
Okay. One.
That hits for, so the first one is gonna be 13. Let's see if you get the, does the damage work on when you're not raging for the Divine Fury? When you're raging. So the Divine Fury is only there when you rage, but that's fine, because he only has,
But that
he has 4
Radiant
HP.
is from the sword, though. I have a magic
Oh yeah,
sword.
that's right, from the sword
The
too.
crystal rapier. So it's
Gotcha,
only a 1d8 and then, yeah.
Gotcha, that's where that radiance from. Got it. It makes a
Sure.
lot more
Just
sense
one
when there's
radiant.
not 6 things happening.
I know, right?
So 13, so he has to roll an 18 or be dead
Okay.
from a poke.
Stay down.
He dies.
I-
He's dead.
Die.
There you go. Well, you killed these zombies.
Delightful.
Delightful.
Is there anything in this room?
Nico, you are as fierce as dragon.
In this
Thank
room,
you, I'm brave like my ancestors.
it just looks like a giant empty space. You knew they came from down here. So, all right, I will move you over here. You pass through this room too. I don't know if you want to stop there or if you want to pass right through, but dragon follows through here. Yes, you also make it through to here.
Can you see these things, Bjork, even if it's not letting you move?
Right now, roll 20 is just completely frozen, so I'm going to try reloading it again.
No.
You know.
Okay.
One of us can always turn on share screen for you if you want, and then you can
that's
just follow.
true.
I was gonna
could
say, if you want to do
anyway.
that, it's probably better for you. That way, he sees it from the player side and not from
Yes.
the DM side.
No,
Do you mind,
no
May?
secrets. Not
That'll
at
be
all.
easier.
You just
I honestly think it's the dynamic lighting. It just slows my PC down so much.
And then you have twice the dark vision as what Bjork has. So I mean, as long as you're within relatively close to each other, you'll probably see the
Look,
same stuff.
it's smooth.
There you go.
Hey, hello.
But yeah, there you go. So you just tell me where you want to go, unless it works for you, and then we'll go there. But
there's sort of these stairs and things over here, but then there's also this tunnel where they sort of came out of. So I don't know which we should go to. What do you think?
Let's do the early one first. Let's not have enemies pop up behind us as we move forward.
That's a good idea. Okay. Would you like to go south? Right here then? Okay, I will sort of slink into the lead again just because then I can scout things for you to shoot. And can I poke my head around this corner as well?
yeah, absolutely.
See what's around door number corner.
Oh, dead end, okay.
Dead end.
Or it might turn at the end, I don't know. I will go check.
Nope, that's just a dead end.
It is dead end.
That's it. It's a dead end. It is dead end.
It is dead. Okay, we'll continue and sort of poke down this way. Is there some sort of light coming from over here?
There is. You see some light coming from the room.
Something over there, but I think it might just be
Follow.
or something. I'm just going to peek. Whoop.
So you see in there, light seems to be coming from two places. From immediately to your right there, and then you see there's like barrels and crates and stuff here that are pretty dilapidated and broken down. And then there is a little bit of light permeating from this leftmost gap in the wall
Down
there.
here?
Yep. You just haven't moved far enough in to see what it's coming from, but you do see some light coming from down below.
I'll peek in a little bit.
There you go. You see there's a little extra stairway that goes down some.
Okay, it's just torches. Do the barrels look interesting at all? Are they labeled?
They just look like storage barrels, and as you look inside of them, there are some mushrooms have started to take over the food sources that were in there, but they're pretty hardy looking mushrooms.
Mushrooms, that remind us of someone that our characters don't know, but never mind.
I have no idea why, but I suddenly have a weird feeling about these. I take another step forward.
And you look down and you see there is a desk at the end in this room with light on either side, and there are some notes and stuff on the desk down there, like just rummaged papers and things.
I'm not much of a reader. Perhaps you would like to take a look at these? I prefer pictures.
An investigation check or something to...
Yeah, absolutely.
For reading.
Go ahead and roll an investigation. Do you want me to roll it, or is it gonna let you roll?
16. Yeah, because I no longer rolled 20, it just rolled in the...
Oh, that's
Did it show
fine.
you within D&D Beyond? Or
No, actually it might.
No, it didn't.
It did actually. There you go. It was a it was a 13,
Oh,
and then it was a
it's
20.
now.
Right.
There you go. You can see that zombie check that I made. That was a 19 15 minutes ago. So I wasn't lying. It did in fact roll a
You
19.
could have just used that.
It's okay. I'm cool with it. It was a zombie. It's not the biggest threat to level 11 players. I just like sometimes to see if they come back to life, because not being able to kill a zombie at 1 HP is the most annoying but hilarious thing. Especially when you're super strong compared to it. But with that 13 that you rolled, looking at these notes, you can make out that they're saying something, but you don't understand the majority of what it's written. It's in a language that you don't understand. There are some pictures, and you do understand a few words here or there that are in Draconic. Kind of talks about dragon and dragonkin, and summoning dragons, but you don't see much else on these notes that you can understand, as they're not in a language that you currently read or.
I don't have any language understanding skillamadoos.
Luckily, I can understand languages, but I've decided that I cannot really read. I'm not very good at that.
I will tell you,
can
it's
look
in
at the
it's in languages that neither of you understand.
Okay.
So you both understand a little bit about Draconic, because Bjork, you can point it out to Nico, and it's about summoning a dragon, but a lot of it is just in a language you don't understand. So
Okay. I'll try. Can I try moving the torches, seeing if there may be a lever or hidden thingy?
yeah, which one are you trying to move, or both of them?
Go on the left first. Just a
The
little.
one on the left.
No.
Okay.
We're in an Agatha Christie.
Agatha Christie. All right. So yeah, you go and you try to move it, and it does give way beneath your hand. It goes,
Cool.
and you hear one click,
Can't believe that worked. I'll say to Nico.
but you don't see anything else. You heard a click, and
Nico, try the other one. Let's do them together.
Oh, yes, okay, I will do that. I do.
as you hit the other one, you hear, and you don't see anything that has opened, but you hear a, and then the creaking of a door opening behind it. So you don't know where, but you know
There's
you
a
opened
door
something.
somewhere now.
Get a
Yes.
door.
A mystery door. Okay. Well, that is better than having a closed mystery door, right?
That's true.
Indeed.
Look for door, I guess.
Any door in this room?
There is no additional door in this room.
Did it sound like it was coming from out next door or in the hallway?
It sounded like, it sounded like it was coming generally from out and around one of the corners somewhere. It sounded a little far off in the distance, but based on where you have walked through so far, there's no door that you have seen that has been closed. So.
No, I
Maybe it
suppose
was a
we
secret door or a door that is a wall.
secret tunnel, perhaps.
Good. Yes.
Secret tunnel.
Okay,
Secret
we
tunnel.
will go back up this way, yes?
Yeah.
Explore further, maybe further to the south?
Go ahead as you get
Oh.
to right there.
Mm-hmm.
Right there. Make perception checks for me. Both
Okay.
of you guys.
I'm still disadvantaged, right?
That's
No, it's probably worn off at this point. Yep, so
Oh, yes.
Rather 20.
Yes.
nice. You smell the most horrid, wretched smell you've ever smelled in your life. And you hear
Oh, no.
groaning louder than you have heard before, coming from down this way.
Okay, well, good call not passing by this because it sounds like and smells like a lot of stinky
Bad
bad
times.
people down here. Yes.
Should we check or backtrack a bit to see if the secret door opened behind us before we go into
Yes, of course. We can go back
dangerous
up
smelly
this way.
zone?
Perhaps maybe secret tunnel is dead end.
Nope, that's just dead end.
No.
Just dead end.
Okay, well, we're
Sad.
perhaps just back up here into this tunnel just in case. Anything out here?
Marco Polo,
Door.
secret door, no.
You just see the tunnel so far that you saw some zombies come out of, and this is the way that you guys came, but there doesn't seem to be any additional door there.
Nothing in here as well where we went before?
Nope. No secret door.
What is in here? Were we in here?
You walked right through it and didn't bother to stop and look. You were shooting zombies.
Oh, true. Okay, well. There's no secret doors that we missed here, though, right?
No, there's not.
Okay. So, I think maybe the secret door is near the stinky, ugly people.
guess it must be. Like into Stinky Land. Let's see here. Have any spells that will help us with Stinky
To
Land?
stink or not to stink? That is the question.
That is the real question.
We can go the stinky, noisy, gross way, or we can go the other way where there was also fewer stinky, gross things. But
Could do
we thought the stinky,
conjure
gross
barrage,
things.
like just throw a piece of ammo and have a bunch of stuff shoot out. You know what I mean?
Ooh, that sounds delightful.
I think I'll do that. I think I'll just try a conjure barrage, like in the general, like in the middle of the room.
Into
In here?
into this room?
Or where the stinky things were.
Where the stinky things were.
Okay.
So we
Cool.
go down.
So you gotta
back
make your
down
way.
here.
Make your way down there. Okay. So you're gonna conjure. So you're holding conjure barrage basically, and what's the trigger? Hold on one sec. And what's the trigger on conjure barrage?
And I see a skeleton zombie thingy.
Okay. Cool. All right. So you're holding that, and as soon as you see it, you're gonna unleash a conjure barrage. I got it. Okay. Works for me.
You want to lead the way with your extremely awesome explodey thing? Or would you like me to poke ahead?
Me in front, so I can get my eyes on the white of their body.
Perfect. I love it. Okay, I will peek below your legs because I am compact and not short.
Yes, you can
But
occupy
compact.
my space. Compact. Tall dragon. Tall dragon.
Yes.
Okay. So I will tell you, because you are holding an action for when you see it, it is also holding an action for when it sees you. So when you both see each other, both of your things are going off at the exact same time. Just so you know. Because there is a stinky thing that you're going to run into. Right there.
Oh boy.
Haha. Alright, so you go ahead and conjure barrage, and it's going to hit you with a flesh entomb.
Ooh.
It's going to throw a detached clump of corpses at you, and I need you to make a DC 16 strength saving throw.
Okie doke. Please, please. Hey!
They say that I'm like in the same square as him, at like peeking out under his legs, or no?
You can peek out.
If I'm small.
Yes.
Can I also peek at the thingy?
You can peek at the thing, yes. So you see it. You see a barrage. A barrage gets conjured. So go ahead and roll conjure barrage. I'm gonna roll this initiative for it. Cool. So you did 20 conjure barrage damage. Got it. All right. Cool. So it takes some damage. You are not entombed in flesh, which is nice. And then for initiative, what did you roll for initiative?
For the last one or a new one?
For a new one, 15. Got it. Cool. All right. So.
If I'm standing sort of under his legs, do I also get hit with this?
No. It is just a. It is just a creature. I mean, you can try.
Okay.
You can get covered in a tomb if you want.
That's fine. No, thank you.
All right. Cool. So we're gonna toss on a little bit of. Let's see what we got going here. Let's give it this one. This battle music on top. Because we want it. Alright. Cool. Alright, so Nico, you are first. You see just this corpse just explode all around you as a bunch of arrows land on this giant pile of corpses.
Do the arrows seem to be affecting it?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, I will jump towards this thing and I will hop into a rage because it's attacking us. So let me just turn all my buttons on.
Do it. Buff it up. Buff it up.
Okay. Here we go. Okay, and then I will run up to him because sorry. 10. Oh yes, I have enough. Okay. And then I will attack him with my rapier.
Alright.
Bonk.
Yes.
And bonk.
Ooh.
So the divine rage only goes on the first one. So that or the divine fury thing. But the rage still goes on.
So 48 damage. Got it.
Beautiful. Okay, and then I will, hey, for fun, I think that's all I can do. But let me just double check.
Its movement slowed by 10 feet, if I remember. From your piercer feet.
Oh, perhaps it is. Let me just double check.
Oh, no, you can just re-roll the
Almost
piercing
does.
damage.
No, I can reroll.
Yeah, I'm thinking of slasher.
Okay.
Yep.
So no, that's okay. That's my turn for now.
Alright. Bjork, you see this massive pile of zombie corpses.
I do. I think I'm just going to lightning arrow a whole bunch, because why not?
Alright, do it.
Makes range and attack concentration, la 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 la, times a bolt of lightning, so 48. So I make the attack twice.
So lightning arrow only affects one arrow, but since you have 2 arrows, you can shoot twice. And if one of them misses the other one, I think the lightning arrow still hits it. I'm pretty sure that's how
31
that goes.
and we'll have the lightning on 31.
That's a lot of damage. Yes. So the 31 definitely hits. Cool. All right. So what's the total damage on the lightning arrow? Because that's to make a dex save against your lightning, right?
Yeah, total 48.
All right. And it has to do a dex save.
I think so. That seems like it should be the case. Let me go back to the spell description.
It's probably gonna fail. I don't know. Is a 17 pass? Pretty good for a guy with a +0. So.
Spell save DC is 13, so yes, he does pass.
Cool. So lightning arrow it's the bonus action, and then it does 4d8 plus all of the normal. Let's see. The weapon damage was half as much. Yeah, so it does that instead of the hit, and then on the second shot, that's your regular arrow. Got it.
Okay.
Cool. And it did 48 damage on the first one, you said? On the lightning?
4d8 was the
4d8. Okay. And then that was...
Does it show on my history?
No, it just shows all those 6s.
Okay, let me roll it again.
Yes.
Should have cast. Total damage 27. So half
Alright,
of
so
27.
27.
26,
Cool.
13.
13, and then you hit on that first one. Cool. So 13. Excellent. And then what was your regular arrow damage for your second shot?
Let's do that. I think I did not do that.
If you hit with it.
But I don't remember. Piercing damage 10.
10.
That's the cold of 4
Okay.
to 14.
14. And I assume you rolled higher than a 12 to hit. Okay. Alright. So it is the zombie clot's turn. The zombie is gonna roll a d6. First of all. Hey, it gets its flesh entomb back. So it's gonna do flesh entomb. It's gonna try and flesh entomb you again, Bjork, and then take a couple attacks against Nico. So Bjork,
Strength saving throw, right?
I need you to do a strength save. Yep. Of DC.
18.
What'd you roll?
Yeah.
19. Oh yeah, you passed. So another zombie corpse. He just like rips it off of its rib cage and just splats it against the wall behind you, and it just explodes. Moldy, nasty bones and flesh everywhere. But you once again avoid it pretty well.
Ha.
It's gonna then take 2 slam attacks against you, Nico.
Okay.
So here's your first slam attack, Nico, and here's your second slam attack. A 21 and a 16. 16 misses, 21 hits. So that is just, I like to round up. So 6 bludgeoning damage as he's just battering you with zombie corpses.
So rude.
And that is
Roll.
its turn. Nico, since you're in the position where you are when you start, make me a Constitution saving throw, DC 14, please.
Let's see. Okay. 13. Oh no.
So,
What was it? 14?
it was 14.
Oh,
So,
no.
you are considered poisoned, and you take this much poison damage. You are poisoned until the start of your next turn, and you take 10 poison damage, so that doesn't get reduced at all. So yeah, you're poisoned with 10 poison from a
Yeah.
deadly stank. And it is your turn.
Nico,
Okay,
you can
well,
do it. We believe in you.
I'm going to I'm going to use my zealous presence to scream at this thing and unleash a battle cry that gives myself and my allies advantage on attack rolls and saving throws until the start of my next turn. So on your next turn, you're going to be even stronger. We are powerful together. And then I'm going to bonk you.
Excellent.
Okay.
Excellent.
1 and 2.
I think
Oh, that's
technically it says other creatures, but I like the fact that I think you should be able to inspire yourself with it because it's an expensive resource. So I'm gonna say, for as long as you play this character, whenever you use Zealous Presence, it can also affect you. So
Okay,
that's
so
outside of
I-
rules, but I don't care because I think it's fun.
Okay.
Oh, you just
I just crit a little bit.
how hold on. Let's see all this math here. Oh, also you should turn on max crits in yours too, so that it does the math for you. But let's see what this math is because I want to see your totality of damage.
Where
7.
do I find max crits? More options?
Yes, you have to go under. What is it?
Sense?
More options, and then you go to critical hit rule, and then perfect rolls. So 7 plus 17 plus 6 plus 8 plus
Okay.
3 plus 8 plus 3. So, with 52 more damage of 2 quick stabs, you find the multiple hearts for this zombie clot, and since you crit on it, it doesn't get to make the save of Undead Fortitude to come back to life.
And then I also
Yay.
I don't know if that took my piercer critical hit,
Oh,
which gives me
Another
I can
D8.
roll one
That's-
additional damage die.
That's
yes.
right, another D8. So
I'll
another
do
10
that
damage,
first.
so 62 damage. It's dead. Killed it.
Okay.
Yay.
And its pile of
Yeah.
stinky corpses just falls to the ground and just falls. So,
Gross.
yes.
So stinky.
Yes.
Plus we'll do a little breath of like disgust, like ha, good riddance. A little mini cold breath on it to cover it up.
Perfect. We make such a good team. The stink ugly things don't stand a chance.
And we can go ahead and we'll go back to this one, there we go. Haha. Alright.
Would we be able to take a quick break at this point? Is that okay?
I was gonna ask that
Yeah,
as
like a
well.
quick little in real life
Seems
break.
like a good spot.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sure, we can
A bio break, if you will.
do a bio break. Let's say till 10 after. Does that work?
Sounds great.
That
Yeah.
sounds perfect.
Cool. Alright. I'ma do a pause till 10 after. Woohoo!
Yay.
Alright, and we are back. You guys just killed a zombie clot. Now there in front of Nico is a pile of stinky zombies that were so huge that they could not fit out this doorway. They literally couldn't fit out the door. Kind of thinking about it, you imagine like all of the zombies that may have been in here before kind of just ended up in this room and collected together and then just like formed this mass of zombie grossness. But yeah, so that's
We did it. Is there treasure? Did it leave behind treasure or just dead bodies?
it's just dead bodies. If you want to dig through all the corpses, you can see if you can find anything, but there's a lot of dead stuff here.
Stinky. I don't think I would like to.
Makes sense. All right. So who's taking the lead?
I'm happy to, unless you want to, Nico.
Totally fine with you doing that because you can shoot the things and then I can run in and bonk the things.
Fair. All right. Well, here, I'm just going to move you over this way since you're going to end up around the corner anyway.
I'll just sort of be peeking under his legs as we go. It's sort of like
Cool.
I
Yeah.
like to imagine sort of like running on all fours. It's like peeking underneath.
That's funny. So you eventually make your way here. And this is the door that seems to have just opened recently. It's you look at it and you see that there's a bunch of dust on the floor moved. So this, as you look kind of inside, it looks like this was a steel door that you guys managed to get open from the 2 torches. So this is the door that opened, and as you look into this room, you can see, well, I don't know if you're using Nico's screen. Yeah, so you can see, because I'll put Nico here. I'll put you all in here, because you're all going to walk in here anyway.
Oh, the light.
Yeah, there you go. You see a bunch of dead bodies on the ground. These ones are not rotted corpses, not like the zombie clot that you just saw. These actually don't look like zombies. These look like dead, but not rotten corpses of humans.
Not
They
a
quite
human, you
fresh?
said.
Compared to the other zombies, they are more fresh, yes. They don't look like they're from like this week or even this month, but they look like they have been preserved somehow. As you kind of look at them a little deeper and look at them a little bit longer, you see that they have bite and claw marks on them, as well as some singe marks, and it looks like they may have been asleep at some point, because it does not look like they had any type of looks like they did not resist any of these attacks. It doesn't look like any of their fingernails are broken, any of their fingers broken, anything like that. It doesn't look like there was, like, they didn't return combat. It looks like whatever happened, they just kind of died from scratches and claws and fire and stuff like that.
Very mysterious, Nico.
This is an odd place to be having a nap.
Should we try moving the torches again? No, I'm kidding.
Locks you
Try
in,
investigating the
poisons the
light.
whole room.
Quickly run around and touch them all now.
They do not move. They are just torches.
And what is this big thingo?
So that is just a statue holding a giant iron bar across the way, and in front of that is an altar with an open book and a blade in front of it.
Would you like to try to read
Blade
the book?
and a book. Okay, sure. Let's check out book. Let's get you book.
But is the pen mightier than the sword? I think not.
As you get up to the altar and begin to read the book, you see that it's primarily in Draconic, so you both can read it. There's not a lot of pictures, though. It's mainly just words and inscriptions.
And read it loud, the chapter titles and things to Nico as easy.
It sounds like, as you're reading it, like you're calling out for someone. You're calling out for protection and for wisdom. And as you read more and more, the doors behind you, you hear them and they slam shut.
Oh.
Oh no,
And-
reading is bad for you, I knew it.
And as you continue to read, you finally get to the name of this creature. It says its name is Gurlial, protector of men. And as you complete this read, comes smashing in from a portal that appears on the ceiling towards the back of the room. You see this young brass dragon climb through. And as you do, the three of you, turn to look, and you see normally brass dragons and the metallic dragons they lean more towards the good and the lawful ends of the spectrum of dragon behavior. So when this thing smashes through and roars and immediately drops down on top of this body, takes a big bite out of it, and then throws it across the room, the bite, not the body, you look at its eyes and you see that the eyes of this dragon look enraged and full of wrath. Like
Oh.
something is causing it to be this way, but it starts rampaging and immediately takes off flying towards all of you in attack mode. And it's going to attack
Oh,
you.
we mean no harm. I'll say Andrew
No.
Alright, we need this one.
Did you say?
This one.
Yep. Oh, 8.
Alright. And what did you roll for your initiative?
An 8.
An
Not
8.
good.
Okay. Excellent, excellent. Hey, I don't know how to move them around. They're all right there. Cool. Nico.
Hey, do the eyes of this statue seem to glow in the same way as the dragon? Can I quickly glance?
The eyes of the statue are glowing like an orangey color, but they don't seem to be the same color as the blood red and black filled wrathful eyes of this young brass dragon.
Okay. I'm gonna quickly turn to Bjork. Say, do I have to fight this thing? It's kind of my kin, but it looks
Same
angry.
Here. I'd prefer if we can find some way to not. We speak Draconic, I suppose. Any spells that could be like, hi. I have thaumaturgy. How about I could thaumaturgy your voice to be all like, hello, you're mine, that's not.
Okay, let's do that. So I'm basically gonna hold, like, can I just sort of hold my action as, like, waiting for a thaumaturgy, I guess? Or
Yeah.
can I just
sure.
grovel in the meantime?
Is grovel an action or a bonus action?
Oh, it is an action. Grovel, cower, and beg. I can cower to distract him so that he doesn't hurt my friend.
Certainly can do that if you want.
Sure, I might as well do that as my action, and then I'll just sort of wait for a thaumaturgy.
Okay. Do you want to rage?
Yeah.
As you're begging and raging. Okay.
I think I'm just
Yeah,
begging, I
right,
don't
that's
think
fine.
I'm raging.
Alright, and then go ahead and roll me a persuasion check at advantage to see if it wants to grab the attention to you, and then it'll roll an insight against your advantage persuasion. Nice. Wisdom. Yeah, it's gonna look at you. It's interested now. And it looks at you.
Please don't.
It like flies in and like slides to a stop about where it is. And you see that it leans back and you see it takes a big breath in. And for a second, it looks like it starts to spark around its mouth a little bit. But instead, you both see that its mouth fills with like this purplish gas. And it blows this gas to completely encompass you, Nico. I need a Constitution saving throw, DC 14. So,
18.
you start to feel your eyes get... Oh, it didn't show. I'll put it on here. Hold on. You start to feel your eyes get heavy for a second. But then you just shake it off, and you're still just there groveling and begging. And then, seeing as you're not asleep, it kind of turns its eyes over to Bjork. But that's its turn. It tried to hit you with a sleep breath, but it failed. So, all right, Bjork.
Okay. How much damage did Nico take?
None. It tried to put it to sleep. Tried to put him to sleep, but
Okay.
Nico passed the save. So Nico did not fall asleep. Nico is just covered in sleeping gas. Just feeling a little bit more relaxed, though. Not quite as ragey, but still ragey.
Let's see here. See what I can do.
Which is good, because that would have knocked you out of range immediately.
I don't have anything that's not really combat-y. No, I'll hop on Joeth. Try try to fly it face to face. Just kind of like, you know, get up in his face and like impart our desire to connect rather than fight. That show like, hey, look, dragon, bronze dragon.
Now kiss. No.
We are kin. We can help. Whatever hurt you have done, I know. Whatever hurt has been done to you, we will try to fix, and I will healing spirit, and try to send healing energy to him.
Okay. So I'm gonna just grab a random token that I got here and use it for healing spirit. We'll use
Leeba.
we could use Gleba.
I'm sorry, what?
I'm gonna use the train though.
Okay.
And the train, and it's what, a 20-foot cube? I think. Is that what healing spirit is?
Yes, that's correct.
Ooh, that's really big. That seems a bit too big. Where's that right?
Do I still benefit from this?
I mean, you would. I want to check that this is correct, that I do not make it too big. No, it's a 5-foot cube, not a 20-foot cube. I was like, something's really off with this.
Yeah, I was like, that seems a
little big. There we go, that makes more sense. Cool. Alright, so you're tossing the healing spirit, and you're going to try and use it to break its... to cure it of its stuff?
Yes, and to try and convince it that we have good intent. Heal it if I can.
Okay.
Demonstrate with ward and action and magic that we're on its side.
Alright, so are you using a second or a third level spell slot for that?
Oh, we'll do third. Why not? Let's make it stronger.
Okay, cool. So you've used a first and a third so far, and you've used 2 thirds because you used lightning arrow. Okay, and conjure brush. So you've used all your thirds now. Got it.
Yes, hooray.
Cool. All right, so go ahead and roll 2d6s for the heals.
Okie doke. I'll just.
Yeah.
Can you roll them for me?
Yeah,
Just
sure.
roll here. There's a clicker, isn't there? Click, click. Oh. Two.
Nice. 2.
Hey.
Success. Double ones. All right, cool. So that effectively dropped your hunter's mark, but that's fine because that's a focus one. So you throw 2 healing points its way, and it kind of looks at Joeth and starts to snarl a little bit, but doesn't take any immediate aggressive action, but looks a little confused, but still in attack mode. And the portal
Okay.
behind it that it came
Nico, I
through
don't
in the
think this worked
ceiling
too well.
is still open. So,
Oh, so not more dragon. Oh dear, this could be bad.
Nico.
We shove him back where he came from.
You can try, but I don't know. Well, it's only large, and I think you can only shove creatures one size bigger than you, right?
Let me see though. I want to see. I have my broom. If
You
could
do have-
somehow
you
pull
do
him
have
with the
your
broom
broom.
and a rope, it can carry up to 400 pounds. So can I try to rope him and pull him and attach him to the broom and send the broom through the portal?
You're gonna give up the broom to send this dragon through the portal?
I mean, I could tell it to come back after.
That's
but,
true. You could. You
I
know what?
mean,
Sure. If you're willing to throw the broom
I
at the
will risk-
dragon.
I will risk the broom. I will because
Okay.
this is great,
All
and
right.
I don't want to hurt it.
So you're gonna basically try to like slam the broom into its chest and force it back through the portal. Cool.
Yeah.
So
I'm
it
going
will
to
be.
tell them, please
Alright. So
send him back.
it's gonna be contested. So you'll do an athletics check, and it will either do athletics or dexterity. And I'm gonna say it's at advantage because it's a dragon against a broom.
That's
So,
fair.
um,
That is fair.
But you also have advantage because it's a strength check. So basically, these are gonna nullify each other, but you both get advantage. So 23
Why do I have advantage?
because you're raging, and you have advantage on all strength-based checks when you rage.
Fine.
So you see Nico take this broom and just command it, and then run up and like pushing on it to get the dragon. And the dragon came through here. So what I'll say is that you can push the dragon back half of its fly speed because it is resisting,
Yes.
which will get it to right beneath the portal. So you'll still have to make another check to try and force it up into the portal, but you shoved it back across the room and you're holding it like beneath the portal right now. So basically, I'll say
of
that you have
holding
it. I'll say you have it grappled, for the purposes of it can't move unless it actively breaks it. But like you and your broom are holding this grappled dragon like beneath the portal. So, and on your next turn, you can try and shove it up there if you want.
Please go! Please!
All right, it's the dragon's turn.
Ah.
Oh no.
Well, firstly, let's just. No, cool. It gets neither of its breath weapons because it only gets to use one at a time unless it gets them back. So it's it can't move unless it breaks, and it's seeing that you're trying to get through it, but it looks like all the words that you say aren't quite getting through. It looks like something's kind of like blocking its sensibilities, so it's just gonna try to attack you instead of breaking out. So it's gonna try and bite and claw you. So a bite and 2 claw attacks at you. So here's the bite.
Yep, that hits.
So it's halved, remember, because you're raging. So 7 there, and then a claw and a claw. And then, so 14 total damage.
So another 7.
Yep,
Okay.
and then the 10 misses. So it just bites and then claws down on you and goes to swipe the second time, but you throw your shield up just in time, and you feel the claws kind of get through and kind of scratch your arm a little bit, and as you look, there are deep, deep gashes from dragon claws in your shield now, but it's still kind of stuck there, being like pinned by this broom in the chest, trying to fight its wings against you, but still there. Bjork.
Portal is still open. He's still hostile, just maybe a tiny bit less hostile.
He's attacking now because he's being forced backwards, so he still looks the same.
Still seems hostile.
He's not happy with everything that's happening. So.
I would argue that he's quite hostile.
He's trying to eat you. You're a snap.
Yes.
But we are still
Just
trying to be
Hunter's
pacifist,
mark and
yes?
shoot him twice. Yes,
Sure.
that's-
If you Hunter's Mark, it'll drop your healing spirit, just so you know.
That's right. I'll just do 2 attacks and move my Hunter's strike.
Okay. So you're gonna try and do the arrows to put him back.
Yeah.
So what we can do is, instead of hitting him with the arrows, if you just want to do, I'll say this: if you want to send Joeth in and do 2 shove attacks with Joeth, you could do them at advantage rather than trying to. Since I'm assuming you want to shove him rather than kill him.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. So yeah, if you want to send your Drake in, I'll say that it can do 2 shove attacks at advantage. They'll be contested, but you can basically use your command and your dragon to try and force this other dragon up. And so you would just roll 2 athletics checks or 2 strength checks with Joeth at advantage against this dragon, and you can
Okay.
do that for your turn. That way you're not damaging him, but you are like trying to get him shoved
That
into
is
the portal.
more what I want to do. Thank
Okay.
you for suggesting that.
Cool.
Okay.
Yep. So just do 2. I think he has a plus.
Actions, right?
It is under actions. Yes. If you go click on your Drake,
And
it is.
summon-
And yeah. So it's just gonna be +3. So yeah, you can just do plus 2 attacks at +3 at advantage for both. So
Okay, I'll just roll 4d20.
yeah, that's fine.
4. Oh, they cluster together. So we have a 4 and a 6.
Okay.
And a 9 and a 17.
Okay. So it's
17 will take 17 and 6 plus 3 on each.
cool. So yeah. So 17 and then the 6. So it's a 20 and a 9. So it's going to contest against both of them. And it will just be normal contested athletics checks. So here's the first one. 9. So it fails the first one. And the second one.
Yay.
Wow. It fails both.
Yeah.
And as it is right now, basically, he's still much bigger than Joeth. So basically, at this point, Joeth has him like right on the edge of the portal where he's beating his wings, and they're coming like in and out of the portal. So Joeth has got him and is like forcing him and forcing him. He's right at the edge. He's not quite there yet, but he's very close. So you've had 2 overall successes to get him back in the portal. You need a 3rd overall success to get him in the portal.
Okay.
So you guys are 2/3 of the way there.
Knows that as well, and kind of stand back next to Nico to try to protect him a little bit.
Okay. So, all right, there's that. Nico, it is your turn. You got the broom there. You got Joeth there pushing. What you do?
Try again with the broom.
Okay, cool. So go ahead
Or
and
twice that.
yeah, we'll do the same thing. Roll athletics checks, and he's gonna
Athletics.
roll athletics checks, and then we'll
Okay,
see
let's
how
go,
this
broom.
goes.
Go, broom, go! Oh!
Okay, roll another one, just to see, just to see, because it'll be 2, because you get 2 attacks. Okay, technically, if he gets a natural 20, he'll match it.
No!
So I do the thing is if you mathematically cannot match it, but you can crit, it will effectively maybe save. We'll see. I don't think he's going to. So here's 2 saves though. 10 and a 7. No, you with Joeth and with the broom, and you just like take your rapier, turn around, and like baseball bat the back of the broom, and this with the help of the broom and Joeth, this dragon just gets forced back into the portal. And the portal itself is still open, but as the dragon is forced through, you kind of can take a look in for a quick second, and you see that there is a person kind of commanding a lot of creatures on the other side of this portal. And as you kind of stare for a little bit, he looks down and notices you, and very, very quickly you see him snap his finger and the portal shuts. But go ahead and roll me a perception check with advantage, because you were watching the dragon as he got forced through.
Okay.
So,
19.
alright, Nico, roll me one as well.
With advantage or no?
Yeah, because you were looking directly up in there.
11.
Cool. So, between the 2 of you, you see that the person that is like commanding and controlling everything on the other side of this portal is, you don't see their face, but you do see that they are about mid-height, more than likely male, just in the way that they're carrying themselves, and you hear a vocal pattern that's deeper than what you would expect of a female. So you're kind of, this man seems to be male of some sort. You can't tell if they're human, if they're elven, if they're dragonborn, anything like that. But you do see that they're wearing red, a lot of red. There's some black accents kind of surrounding their clothing. And as they wave their hand without looking through the portal, as it starts to shut, you both hear a voice in your heads that says, "You won this round. You won't win the next one. Don't believe in yourselves too much. My power has only just begun." And then you hear no more. As the dragon is gone, the portal is closed, and the doors reopen out of the chamber that you came in.
That was a surprise.
Like, we did
Nico,
it.
Are you okay?
Oh, yes, that was delightful. You caught on immediately to the plan, and I'm so happy we are working together.
Yes.
And the dragon didn't
Oh.
even get hurt.
We report back now, I guess? I mean, this feels like a success.
Yes, I mean, was there something we were supposed to get as well, though?
Oh, yes, that's right. It wasn't the book.
We're
What was it?
supposed to loot some things, right? Maybe, what is this sword looking like?
So, as you kind of look at the sword, we do have the notes and whatnot from the one desk in that office that you found. So you still have
Oh,
those.
yes.
You collected those. And on this, it's more of like a longer dagger, not quite a short sword, but it's fairly long. You could use it as a dagger if you needed to, but it wouldn't be strong enough to be a short sword. But as you look at it, there are symbols, mostly in Draconic and a language you don't recognize, and it looks to be something to control dragon and dragonkin with. It looks like there is some blood on it, and it looks like it's very likely that one of the people in this room, they met the same adventure as you, and the dragon was forced through the portal, and they tried to control it by cutting themselves across the hand or somewhere, and it did not work as they are all dead. But
Oh.
yes, it looks like this could be used to try and control some dragon or some dragonkin. But
Powerful in the wrong hands. I suppose this is something we should take back. This is kind of part of the Arcane Inquisitor's thing, right? We protect these things so that it doesn't get into the wrong hands.
Yes. Safe to move? Do we need to wrap it in cloth or something?
Ooh, I don't want to touch it. I think, yes, cloth would be good.
Okay. I'll grab some cloth and try to gently pull it forward.
And then as you guys are also looking around this room, it doesn't matter which one, but do one of you want to roll me a D100, please?
You want to go?
Sure.
Go.
We'll go for it.
Boom, another portal.
Boop. Roll. 1. Just about that.
51. Okay. So, alright, so as you're kind of looking around, you see that you managed to find this longer dagger on top, but as you lifted it off, as you wrapped it in whatever cloth or fabric you found it, that you wrapped it in, you lifted it off, and as you lifted it off, the glowing eyes of the statue kind of fade. They go from being this orangey glow to just no longer there. And the altar in front of you, you hear a hiss, just and then and you see that the top of it kind of shifted, so it's no longer flush beneath it, and it looks like it is a chest of some sort. And as you, there doesn't seem to be poison gas or anything, but as it shifts and you guys can push the lid astray, you guys find this many gold pieces worth of gems. You guys find 15 gems worth 50 gold pieces each. I'm sorry, I misspoke. So 15 gems, each worth 50 gold pieces. As well as, how many times am I gonna roll here? 4. Jesus, that's max ice on that. Okay, so I need each of you to roll me 2 D100s.
2 D100s. Wow.
2 D100 each.
13 and 93.
Okay. And then you rolled a 98 and 22. All right, so we'll do the 13. What's the lowest one? Let's see what we got. All right, so we'll do 13 first. So, Michael, you got another potion of greater healing.
Ooh.
For your first one. With a 22, you find, Nico, a potion of fire breath. So you can be really dragony now. And then with a 93, you find a set of, I don't know if it's going to be helpful to you or not, but let me double check. Yes, it will actually. You find yourself a set of mithril armor. Yep, so medium or heavy, but not hide. So whichever type of medium armor you wish to wear, it is mithril of that sort. And then, alright. And then because you don't currently have a mount, we're just gonna. You can either roll again another D100, or I can just take 99. You tell me. What do you want to do, Nico?
Just writing down the armor thing. Okay, so I can roll another D100 or what? Or what's the option?
Or I'll take a 99 because it's the next number up. You tell me.
Just do a 99. That's fine.
Okay, cool. So you have, alongside that potion of fire breath, you also find in there a magical wand, which is a wand of magic detection.
So instead of armor, wand.
So you get the potion of fire breath and wand of magical detection, and then Bjork gets a potion of greater healing and the mithril armor. So there were 4 total items. Yeah, you guys rolled for the items that you got. So you have a wand of magic detection and a potion of fire breath, and Bjork, you have another greater healing potion and a mithril armor of whatever medium or heavy armor that you wear. And I think you probably wear studded leather. So yeah, there's probably mithril studded leather in there. But
you're going to look so cool.
Actually, there is
my silver main name as well.
There's not.
Silver
There's
shirt,
actually there's mithril breastplate, chainmail, chain shirt, or half plates. Do you have a preference on which to wear? I will say the half plate, the chainmail. Well, you can't wear. You can only wear medium. So you can do a breastplate, a chain shirt, or a half plate. A half plate has the most armor, if you want that.
Chain shirt.
A chain shirt, a breastplate,
which
or
has disadvantage on
none of
stealth.
it's mithril, so you don't have it any disadvantage. Yeah. So.
Okay. Then yeah, the half plate. Sure.
Cool. All right, so I'll toss that on here for you. Let's see if it actually. I don't think it's gonna change your. No, it won't change your AC at all. So yeah, it's no real difference in benefit to you. I don't think. Oh, let's see. Yep, you have the same exact armor class. So you can either keep your studded leather or you can sell the mithril. It's really up to you, whatever you want to do with it. But you guys get the information that you were sent to find, and you can begin to make your way back towards Moreau. It's been, at this point, by the time you get out of here and you get back up to the above temple grounds, it's late afternoon, early evening at this point, about dinner time. So you guys can either go back to your campsite in the mountains, or you can just start heading back towards Moreau, whichever you want.
What do you think, Nico? Rush back or go back to our camp and have a rest?
I always like to camp.
Yeah.
Be a nice place to rest and continue from there.
Okay. All right, so you guys make your way back to your previous campsite in the mountains, and as you start to get there, the sky does get a little darker, a little cooler as the evening and the night sets in. It is a relatively clear night. You have overcast clouds now and again, and you have some mountain animals that kind of make their way close to your camp, but never quite getting within arm's reach or anything like that. Just kind of doing their nightly animal rounds. And when we return, you will have benefited from a long rest. But for now, I think that's where we're going to leave it, with Nico and Bjork and Joeth camping out for the evening after successfully acquiring what is likely the information they were sent to acquire, not having to slay a young brass dragon who was under the control of someone. So,
yes.
Next time on Mateia, we'll see where we're at, if we're going to be making our way to join up with our other 2 compatriots, or if we'll be continuing the adventures of Bjork, Joeth, and Nico. We'll see. But
Alex, that was super fun. May, always a pleasure to play with you. Privilege to do a little duo session. BC
that was
buds,
fun.
you know.
Yay!
But all right, until next time, everybody have a great night, and I'm going to end the recording right now. Bye.
Yeah.